Greetings, this is CK, and it has been a week or 3 or whatever. But I wanted to make sure and get back in the saddle, as it were, not let this go too long. I was taking a break because I was trying to kind of wind up for an episode where I used a specific tea that I had when, or prepared for when I proposed to my wife almost 4 years ago now. And I kept kind of putting it off and trying to get it just right and everything. And I think I'm just going to end up doing it for our anniversary in March. And so I didn't want to go too long without doing one of these again. Wanted to just shoot a quick one, get it out the door. I am in red. You'll see our tea is a red tonight, a vanilla and roy-buh tea, or roy-buhs if you are American, or Roobios if you don't know what you're talking about. But tonight our tea is red, my shirt is red, and you can see I've got a lovely, actually nice, like a nice little filter. Because the Kansas City Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. And I didn't watch the game, which don't tell my neighbors, they'll come at me with pitchforks. But I do live in Kansas City, and it's always interesting to see what can unite a town of a couple million people. And tonight you can hear, you probably won't be able to hear over here, but the neighbors are out whooping and hollering, and there's fireworks. Probably more than there were at New Year's, actually. And in general, the town is going to be pretty interesting this week. I work near downtown, so it could be kind of interesting to see what it looks like. It reminds me a lot of when the Royals won the World Series a few years ago. Crazy, but you know, they hadn't been there in 50 years, and I needed to get a video out, and I thought this was a fun opportunity. Just a quick little excuse to make a video, try some tea. Let's do this real quick. By the way, there's no vanilla on this nose at all. I know that it says it's a vanilla and Rubio, but Rubio, look, I just did it. I just did it, like I don't know what I'm talking about. A roy-buh tea. Actually, there is a little bit of vanilla. As I awkwardly taste this twice. Red teas are interesting. You know, they got that little bit of spice. They have great color. They're just fun to look at. They're fun to try. I love them. I love chai, and so, you know, a red tea with a lot of spice and character is really, really nice. This one's actually quite mild, or mellow maybe, but you do get a little bit of vanilla with it. So whatever they've done to kind of infuse that, I'll show this one more time, to make that infusion is it's nice. It's a nice little blend, and it kind of goes with a theme, which, you know, it's funny. The other day, my wife and I watched Remember the Titans. For her, it was the first time, and I've seen it several times before, but it was interesting to us to see, you know, in this town that is trying to figure out how it feels about these big topics of integration and segregation and all of that. It was interesting to see how they came together first over sports, but then ultimately over the value of people. And that's a huge topic for me, something I'm very passionate about. And you know, I think it'll feel similar to how they felt when that team won throughout the city this week here in Kansas City. So it's just kind of odd timing for all of that, but you know, it did, as in kind of the shoot the Muse sort of way. It led to some really interesting discussion for us about what can unite a town in that case, or even a city in this case, with a couple million people. But you know, you can walk in anywhere and feel a small town vibe. If you're wearing red during this time of year, or blue when the Royals won. So it's interesting to see what, you know, what brings people together, what bridges those gaps and divides. And my hope would be that ultimately we would feel that way after the glow has faded and everyone moves on to something else. So maybe we can get some lasting impact like that town did, to be intentional about those meetings with people and about talking about things, to make it more than just about the game itself, again, which I did not watch, so don't tell anybody. But good night, fun way to kind of I guess start a week here, but then also take a look back over the last few and get back in the saddle from filming these. So hopefully we can get back to a regular cadence. I do look forward to showing you the tea that I used to propose to my wife, or when I proposed to my wife, the tea that we had and shared right after that. So that'll be coming down the road. But in the meantime, it's a fun roy-buh tea with a little bit of vanilla, not much, just enough to just gently caress the palate, as it were. You'll never hear me say that ever again. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and go Chiefs, and I will see you again when it's been about a week.